Jake J. Mac McAllister's life didn't start in a place of privilege. Born in a rough part of Detroit, Jake's childhood was defined by adversity. His father, a former high school football star, had spiraled into a life of crime after an injury ended his own football dreams. As a young boy, Jake often saw his father's gang connections as both a source of pride and shame. The allure of the streets was powerful, and many of his early memories were tied to the dangers of gang life. His mother, a hard-working nurse, did her best to shield Jake and his younger sister from that world. But the pull of the neighborhood was strong. As Jake entered his teenage years, he found himself drawn into the local gang culture. It wasn't so much a choice as it was a survival tactic. Growing up, Jake learned to fight for his family's honor, to protect his younger sister from the dangers of the world, and to carry the weight of his father's lost dreams. However, there was a different side of Jake, a side that only football brought out. His mother had enrolled him in Pop Warner football at the age of 7, hoping to give him a productive outlet for his energy. Despite the chaos around him, Jake excelled at football, especially as a quarterback. The discipline, focus, and leadership required on the field helped him maintain some sense of normalcy in an otherwise turbulent world. And even as he dealt with pressures of street life, football became his escape, his way to create a better future. By the time Jake reached high school at Detroit Central, football was more than just a game. It was his lifeline. He had grown out of the gang influences around him, largely because football had given him something bigger to believe in. As a 6'3" quarterback, Jake's arm strength and natural leadership qualities made him a standout prospect out on the field. But it wasn't just his talent that caught attention. It was his ability to overcome his circumstances. Jake's high school years were filled with personal growth. While he wasn't immune to the dangers of his environment, he lost several childhood friends to violence. He kept his focus on football, using it as his escape and his driving force. By his junior year, Jake had led Detroit Central to the state finals, a huge accomplishment for a school that had long been forgotten by college scouts. But there was still the matter of his future. Many of his peers, including some of his teammates, were drawn into the gang life more deeply, using their skills to settle disputes rather than to stay in school and stay on the field. Jake faced temptation at every turn, but he always found a way to stay away, knowing that football was his ticket to something more. It was during his senior season that a scout from the University of Minnesota saw Jake's raw talent and offered him a scholarship. Jake arrived on campus in 2015 as a promising young quarterback. The Gophers were on their eyes, and Jake's decision to play for them was as much about creating a new life for himself as it was about continuing his football journey. However, stepping onto a college campus for the first time was an eye-opening experience. For the first time in his life, Jake felt like a small fish in a big pond. He was now competing with the best quarterbacks in the Big Ten, and the pressure to perform was immense.
Out of the lineup is a wide receiver. Jones dropping back, going for it. Oh my goodness!
There he goes on the quarterback draw. And he's into the secondary. Great move, and now the speed in the middle of the field, looking for a stiff arm. Ninth play of the drive, play action. Looking for the end zone and dropping it in it perfectly is Cook.
But Jake had always thrived in adversity. His story was different from most of his teammates. While they had grown up in affluent suburban areas, Jake had fought his way out of a neighborhood where the odds were stacked against him. It wasn't just about football for him. It was about proving that anyone, no matter where they came from, could rise above their circumstances. Despite a strong college career, Jake's professional aspirations fell short. After going undrafted in the NFL, he briefly played in the Canadian Football League, but he realized he wasn't cut out for the pro lifestyle. It was just then that Jake decided to turn his attention to coaching, knowing that his passion for the game could still change lives, just as football changed his. J-Mac returned to Minnesota, initially taking on a coaching position at a local high school. His success as a quarterback and his life experience resonated with his players. He became a mentor, not just teaching them the game of football, but imparting lessons on discipline, perseverance, and overcoming adversity. His high school teams flourished, especially on defense, where Jake used his football IQ to bring an intensity and strategic mindset that was rare at the high school level. As word of Jake's success as a coach spread, it wasn't long before college programs began to take notice. Colorado State, a team with up and down defensive record, reached out to Jake with an offer that could change everything. They wanted a fresh perspective and someone who could instill discipline and toughness into their defense. Jake, while humbled by the offer, knew this was a chance for him to make a lasting impact on a program that had been searching for consistency. In January 2024, Jake McAllister and his wife, along with their two sons, Jackson, 13, and Jet, 12, packed up and made the long journey from Minnesota to Fort Collins, Colorado. As he approached Colorado State for the first time, a sense of pride welled up inside of him. His journey from the rough streets of Detroit to the college football fields of Minnesota, and now to a major Division I program, was a testament to his resilience. Walking through the football facility for the first time, Jake felt both the weight of expectation and the excitement of the opportunity ahead. He wasn't just here to coach football, he was here to mentor, to guide these players the same way football had guided him out of darkness. He knew the road ahead wouldn't be easy. Colorado State had struggled in recent years, and Jake had no illusions about the challenge.